Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, we already have a Rolls Royce at Arsenal, William Saliba. Maybe it's time to add a Bentley into the squad, and we are linked to a certain Bentley from Wolves, as confirmed by David Ornstein. We'll be covering that. We'll be covering the latest on Riccardo Calafiori as well, looking like likely that we will get the deal done in the next couple of days. And then finally, we will be talking about the latest on Jules Kounde. But let's start with the new goalkeeper situation. We expected a David Ornstein update, but we were hoping it wasn't going to be, hoping it was going to be something massive. It still could be something massive, but it's only going to be a second choice goalkeeper. Now, according to reports from David Ornstein and The Athletic, Arsenal contact Wolves to express interest in signing Dan Bentley. 30-year-old goalkeeper identified by Arsenal as a backup option. He's homegrown, plus a great character. Would only sell if suitable bid lands so they can reinvest. Now, listen, we'll come to the article, but listen, homegrown, yes, I see why. Yeah, especially when you get rid of a couple of English players and it's looking likely. We don't know the futures of Ramsdale, Smith Rowe, Ketia, Nelson. If you sell English players, you have to bring in a couple of others, and maybe this could be the one. Now, the other main thing is the character. We know that we usually don't just sign random players, especially if their character is not right. And it seems like he fits into that bill. Now, the goalkeeper situation, no one knows what is going to happen. Raya's just signed recently on a permanent deal, but we still don't know what is going to happen to Ramsdale. And we still don't know if he's going to leave and who's going to be the second choice goalkeeper. In fact, 1 week ago, we didn't know anything about the goalkeepers. We didn't know whether Carl was going to stay or not. We didn't know the situation with Raya. We didn't know the situation with Ramsdale. And we didn't know if they were going to get any other goalkeepers. Now, two of them have been sorted out. Raya is definitely going to stay, and Carl also is going to stay. But who's going to be the second choice goalkeeper next? So is it going to be Ramsdale? Is it going to be the goalkeeper we'll be linked to from Feyenoord? Is it going to be the goalkeeper we'll be linked to from Espanyol? We'll be linked to a couple of goalkeepers. It's looking like it's going to be this guy. His name is Dan Bentley, not David Bentley. We used to have a David Bentley back in the day. This is what David Ornstein had to say. Arsenal have contacted Wolves to express an interest in signing goalkeeper Dan Bentley. The 30-year-old who moved to Molineux from Bristol City in January of 2023 has been identified by Arsenal as a potential backup option. Wolves are not interested in selling the Englishman unless they were to receive a suitable offer that allows them to reinvest. Now, what is a suitable offer to them? Is it something crazy like 30 million on a backup goalkeeper? Is it 10 million is enough for them? I don't know. David Ornstein goes on to say David Raya is currently Arsenal's fast choice goalkeeper with Aaron Ramsdale and Karl-Heinz still in the squad. Bentley is a highly valued member of Gary O'Neill's squad, and despite recording only 5 Premier League appearances, he has made a strong impression on and off the pitch. His top-flight debut, ironically, came against Arsenal as a substitute in a 2-1 win for the North London side in December of 2023. Bentley went on to make 3 league starts for O'Neill's side and kept a clean sheet in December's 1-0 victory over Burnley. He started his career at Southend United and spent 3 years with Brentford before moving to Bristol City, where he made 143 appearances. Now, this is a weird one. He played against Arsenal. I don't remember that. I don't remember why the goalkeeper was Sarr. I think I remember something like that. I think Sarr got injured or something, but I don't remember who came on. But as a player, in terms of experience, he's played a lot of games. He's 30 years of age. That's another weird thing. It depends. Which kind of goalkeeper are we looking for? Are we looking for a young goalkeeper to back up Raya? Are we looking for someone at the same age as Raya to compete with him? Or are we looking for someone old that just come and be happy with being a second choice goalkeeper? For me, from the leaves, I'm looking for a goalkeeper who, will be happy to be second choice. We won't have as much drama as we had with Ramsdale and Raya last season and the media talking about it every single day. You're looking for a second choice goalkeeper who's going to be happy to be on the bench. Now, Dan Bentley ticks a couple of those boxes. In terms of age, he'll bring in experience. In terms of homegrown, he will bring that. In terms of a goalkeeper who'll be happy to be on the bench, he's ticking that as well. But the other things are, what is his game all about? Like, if Raya gets injured, can we trust Dan Bentley? Now, he did play for Southend United between 2009 and 2016. He made 46 appearances, 42 appearances, 43 appearances, so he was a regular. And then he went to Braintree Town. I think that's like a non-league team or something. Brentford, he played for three seasons for them in the Championship. And then he also played for Bristol City, 4 seasons in the Championship as well. And then he was signed 2022. He played 2 games for Wolves, and then last season he played 3 games for them. So he has featured just a couple of times in the Premier League, but in the Championship, he was a regular for a lot of years, in the Championship for a lot of different teams. So That is cool. Experience he has. So he definitely has the experience. But what about his qualities? Does it fit Arsenal? Does it fit Arsenal? Now, weirdly enough, in terms of kicking, his stats have been are very low and is rated as weak in terms of ball kicking and long passes, and also in terms of aerial ability, it's ranked as weak on who squad. So that is a bit weird. If he doesn't know how to kick, he's 30 years of age, is not really coming to learn that right now. If he's a young goalkeeper, I'd say yes. But this is a little bit of a weird one. I understand in terms of homegrown, you have to look for English players. For the English players that we have leave, you have to have a certain number of English players in your team or homegrown players in your team. In terms of age, I don't mind whether you get an older one or a younger one, someone who's just happy to be on the bench. I'm fine with that. But in terms of his ability, that is where it's weird. So if Raya gets suspended for 3 games, can you bring in this guy to be a goalkeeper for 3-4 games and you trust him? I don't know, because in terms of the kicking and the catching of the ball from corners and free kicks is not the best. I've not watched him. That is just from the stats I've looked at. Is not the best in terms of that. But David Johnson has confirmed that we are looking at Dan Bentley. Wolves could be willing to sell if they get a suitable bid. But this is a backup option. You can't really go to spend 20, 25 million on a backup option. I don't think it's worth it. But if Ramsdale does leave, then we are going to have to get a backup goalkeeper. So us being linked to this and David Dunstan confirming it, I think it means Ramsdale will definitely leave. But as of now, we haven't really heard about any teams being linked to him. Any teams putting a significant amount of money on the table, and just even any amount on the table, there's no team that has made a bid for him yet. So that is a weird one. But that's the latest on our goalkeeper situation. Next up, let's talk about Calafiori. What's the latest on him? When is he going to be signed? According to Martin Moretto, Arsenal and Bologna will return for talks tomorrow, which is Monday, to finalize everything for the transfer of Riccardo Calafiori, with aim to slightly reduce the final figure between the fixed fee and bonuses. Arsenal want to close the deal over the next week. So we are going to return for the final talks tomorrow. Fabrizio already confirmed that this is pretty much done. We just need to finalize it this week. The player's already happy to join Arsenal. There's actually a tweet I saw that said he's crazy about joining Arsenal, but he's not going to put pen and paper until he comes back from Maldives. So everything that we can agree right now is just him signing for Arsenal and agreeing the fee with Bologna, and then we have to wait for him to come back. This is right now. He's actually in Maldives enjoying his holiday. So he's not looking like someone who's going to come back anytime soon. I mean, looking at that, I would not want to come back anytime soon neither. But Calafiori will be an Arsenal player. No worries about that. But we have to give it a couple of days for him to finalize his transfer, for us in Bologna to finally agree 100%. And then we have to wait for him to come and do a medical and finalize the move. But for me, Calafiori is already an Arsenal player. No worries about that. We are going to get it done. Now, we were linked to another centre back, right back, a couple of weeks ago. That is Jules Koundé. Is doing very, very well for France at the Euros. But since you're getting Calafiori, I don't think the Koundé one is going to happen. We've already been told Timber and Tomiyasu are going to be used more on the right side. We already have Saliba and Ben White there as well. Those are 4 players who can play on that side. I don't think you're also going to add Jules Koundé on top of that unless we're going absolutely crazy for defenders. This is what has been reported from Martin Moretto as well. Arsenal are not considering the signing of Jules Koundé at this stage. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. If you're going to go for Jules Koundé, you have to pay another 50 million on top of what maybe even more, on top of what you paid for Calafiori. And remember, we're also going to get a goalkeeper. Remember, we're also going to potentially get a midfielder. We'll be linked to wingers. We'll be linked to strikers. You can't get all 5, 6 signings. You have to, I think it's only going to be like 4, and Calafiori is 1. Okay, let's say 5, because David Raya is being counted. So Ryan Calafiori, that is already 2. So maybe there's space for another like 3 players. I don't think you can go for another defender. Kivia looks like he's going to leave. So that means our defense next season will be Calafiori, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Ben White, Saliba, Tomiyasu, and Timber. Those will be our 7 defenders next season. I'll be very surprised if we do add another defender to the team. I think that is it for defenders. So you're now looking at goalkeeper, backup, and maybe selling Ramsdale. And we're also looking at maybe midfield and striker situation. Tavares is also going to leave. And we also know Tierney could potentially leave if he recovers from his injury on time. There's a lot of business going on, a lot of business expected, especially this coming week. I'm expecting at least 4 deals to happen, not just signings, but in terms of outgoings and incomings, I'm expecting 3 to 4 deals to happen. I'd not be surprised if we get it done. But that's the latest. Calafiori talks to be finalized tomorrow. I'm also linked to this guy, Dan Bentley, the Wolves goalkeeper. I don't know much about him. I've just read his stats, and he doesn't look like he's great in terms of the kicking and the aerial catches, but everything else, it does tick in terms of homegrown and just backup option and everything. Great character, as they've mentioned, which is very important for Arsenal. But Jules Kounde doesn't seem like he's going to join. Arsenal seems like he's going to stay at Barcelona. That's the latest. Make sure to hit the like button. Catch up with me tomorrow, live stream at the usual time, and obviously more videos and more updates. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.